All right, so get this. We're diving deep today into artificial general intelligence, or AGI for short.
AGI?
Yep.
Okay.
We're going to be looking at Eric Schmidt's predictions.
Huh.
You know.
Former Google CEO.
Yeah, exactly. Former Google CEO. And his thoughts on how this AGI could maybe even lead to like a new renaissance.
Wow.
It's kind of a wild idea, right?
Yeah.
Like AGI could be making new knowledge, not just like processing the stuff that we already have.
Yeah, he actually compares AI.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he compares the potential impact of AI on the human intellect to the telescope.
Whoa.
And its impact on astronomy.
I like that.
It's pretty powerful.
It is. It makes you think, like, what are the possibilities?
Yeah.
So before we go too far down that road, we should probably, like, figure out what AGI even really is.
Right, exactly, because it's kind of like a buzzword these days, you know? And it's still evolving.
Yeah.
So we're talking about AI that goes, like, way beyond just doing specific tasks.
Okay.
Like, really well.
Right.
This is AGI that could understand, learn, and even tackle any intellectual thing that humans can.
So not just playing chess or, you know, writing code.
Not just that.
Like the whole shebang.
The full range.
Yeah.
Demis Hassabis.
Okay.
He's the CEO of Google DeepMind. He put it this way.
Okay.
True AGI would be able to invent something as complex as like Einstein's theory of relativity.
Oh, wow.
Using just the information that Einstein had back then.
That's a high bar.
Yeah, it is.
So that makes you wonder, are we even close to that?
Well, it's a long-term goal.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of debate.
I bet.
About like how to even define AGI.
Right.
Never mind to achieve it.
Yeah.
But that's what makes this so fascinating.
Totally.
To explore.
Okay, so then how do we even know if we're making progress toward this AGI?
Yeah.
Like, are there any signs we should be looking for?
Well, Schmidt thinks that a key thing will be AI that can actually generate new knowledge. Not just rehashing or like synthesizing data we already have.
Right.
He calls these systems scale-free systems.
Okay.
Meaning they can like bootstrap their own learning and discovery process.
So they could like design their own experiments and then gather their own data.
Yeah.
And then make their own conclusions.
That's the idea.
Wow.
Think about an AI that can look at huge amounts of astronomical data.
Okay.
And find patterns that would take humans forever.
Right.
Like years.
Yeah.
Maybe even lifetimes. To find that kind of power could lead to like new planets being found, or even like a hidden structure in the cosmic microwave background radiation.
No, that's a breakthrough.
Right.
Yeah, what other mysteries could it unlock?
It makes you think.
It really does.
Schmidt believes that this knowledge generation could go way beyond science. Like where else? He's especially excited about economics.
No, economics, okay.
Imagine AI that can analyze global economics on a crazy scale.
Yeah.
It would be like...
That's a lot of data.
It would be insane.
Yeah.
We could have market predictions that are super accurate.
Wow.
And better policy decisions.
So like a more stable economy, even a global economy.
A more prosperous global economy.
But are we talking decades away, or could this happen sooner?
Well, Schmidt thinks that we could see AI that rivals top scientists as early as 2030.
Oh, wow.
And there's a venture capitalist.
Okay.
Vinod Khosla.
Okay.
He's even more like...
Bullish?
Yeah, bullish. He predicts AI could do 80%.
80%.
Of economically valuable tasks within 5 to 7 years.
Wow, that's way sooner than I thought.
It is.
But then what happens to all the jobs?
Right, that's the big question.
If AI can do all this stuff, what happens to the workforce?
Yeah.
That's a big concern.
Yes, some experts think
that
new jobs will pop up as old ones disappear.
Right, like it's happened before.
Like in other technological revolutions.
Exactly.
But others are like...
That's so optimistic.
Yeah, they're predicting massive unemployment.
Oh, wow.
Maybe even social unrest.
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't think they're easy answers.
Not at all, but that's why it's so important to talk about it now before things get even more advanced.
Yeah, we got to think about this stuff.
We do.
Okay, so we talked about science, economics, and jobs.
Yeah.
What else could this AGI revolution touch?
Well, Schmidt talks about AGI affecting things like medicine and education.
Okay.
But he also brings up this way bigger question.
Oh, I like this.
Almost philosophical.
Okay.
He thinks AGI could help us understand ourselves better.
Okay.
Like where we fit in the universe.
Oh, wow. So that's going back to that telescope idea.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, okay.
That analogy.
Could AGI help us figure out these like existential questions that humans have had forever?
It's possible.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, and it reminds me of what Elon Musk has said.
What's that?
About an AI that understands the universe.
Wow, are we like on the verge of like this whole new level of understanding?
It's exciting to think about.
It is. It's kind of scary too.
A little bit.
So much potential with AGI.
Yeah, right, and there's still so much uncertainty.
Yeah.
About how this will all play out.
But
one thing's for sure.
What's that?
It's not predetermined.
Okay.
It's something that we're all shaping.
I like that.
Through the choices we make and the conversations we have.
And speaking of conversations,
yes,
we are going to dive deeper into some of those specific challenges and opportunities that AGI brings right after this.
That sounds good.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back. So before the break, we were talking about how AGI could totally revolutionize how we understand the universe.
Yeah, and like even challenge what we think we know.
Totally.
We were being pretty optimistic, though.
Yeah.
What about the challenge? Like, that's a big deal, too, right?
Absolutely. With any big new technology, there are going to be some hurdles.
Okay, so what are we talking about here?
Well, we got to be prepared for just how complex this could get.
Yeah. One of the things I keep hearing about is, like, what happens to jobs?
Right, if AI can do all the things humans do.
Yeah, what happens to the workforce?
That's a huge concern.
It is.
As AI gets smarter and smarter,
it
could automate so many jobs.
In, like, all kinds of industries.
Right, yeah, from manufacturing and transportation to finance.
Oh, wow.
Even healthcare.
So it's not just like the blue-collar jobs.
No, not at all.
Even like doctors and lawyers?
Yeah, even those highly skilled jobs.
Could be changed by AI.
Could be.
Wow. How do we even prepare for that?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
There's no simple answer.
Yeah.
But some people think that focusing on skills that are like uniquely human is the key.
Like what?
Things like creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence.
So the stuff AI can't really do.
Well, at least not yet.
Not for a while.
Yeah, maybe not ever.
Okay, so instead of competing with AI, we should be working with it.
Exactly. It's about figuring out how humans and AI can be a team, using our strengths together to solve those really hard problems.
I like that.
Imagine doctors using AI to go through tons of data and get better diagnoses.
Okay.
But still using their own expertise and empathy to treat patients.
Right. That makes sense.
We have to adapt and evolve alongside AI.
Not be scared of it.
Right.
Not try to stop it.
Exactly.
We have to change with it.
Yeah. And that might mean changing how we do education and job training.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We need to prepare the next generation for a world where AI is everywhere.
Yeah. It's a lot to think about.
It is, but it's a conversation we got to have.
We do.
Okay, so jobs are a big deal.
Right.
But there are other challenges too.
Like what else?
Well, as AI gets more power to make its own choices, we have to think about the ethics of it all.
Right. Like AI doesn't know right from wrong, does it?
No, it learns from the data we feed it.
So we have to be super careful about that.
We need to make sure it's learning the right stuff.
Yeah.
And that the goals we set for it are good.
Yeah. Because if it's trained on biased data, then it could make unfair choices.
Exactly.
So it comes down to the people making it, the data they use, and what they're teaching it, basically.
And the values that they're putting into it.
Values, that's a good word for it.
And that's why collaboration is so important.
Yeah.
We need ethicists, social scientists, policymakers.
Wow. A whole team.
All working together with AI researchers and engineers.
Okay, so we can make sure this technology is used the right way.
Responsibly and ethically.
Sounds like a huge job.
It is.
But it's got to be done right.
It does. The potential benefits are so big.
Yeah, that's true.
It's worth all the effort.
Okay, so it seems like we need to be able to think critically and be ready to adapt more than ever.
Really never.
If we're going to deal with this AI future.
Exactly. We got to analyze information, question what we think we know, and get creative about solutions.
Yeah, and be open to change as AI keeps developing.
Exactly. And speaking of developing, you mentioned earlier that AGI could change how we understand the universe.
Yeah.
And even our place in it.
Right. Let's talk about that more.
Okay. So remember Schmidt's analogy?
The telescope.
Yeah. AI is a telescope for the human mind.
Right.
He thinks AGI could help us see past our current limits.
Okay.
And maybe even discover things about the universe we can't even imagine yet.
That's pretty wild. But if AI is making this new knowledge, how do we understand it?
Right.
Well, we need like a whole new way of thinking.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It's something philosophers and scientists are trying to figure out.
I bet.
AGI might create knowledge that doesn't fit with our current ways of thinking.
So we gotta adapt.
We might have to.
So it's not just about learning new stuff.
Right.
It's about changing how we think.
Exactly.
Expanding our minds.
It's like we're exploring a whole new world.
I like that.
Discovering things we've never seen before.
We need new tools.
We might.
New ways of doing things.
Yeah, to understand all the new stuff.
It's exciting, but it's also kind of scary.
It is a bit daunting.
So how do we get ready for that?
I think one way is to be humble.
Humble.
Yeah, we got to be willing to say we don't know everything.
Okay.
And that maybe we're wrong about some things.
That's tough.
It can be.
But we have to be open to new ideas, even if they seem crazy at first.
Even if they challenge everything we thought we knew.
Right, like all the big scientific revolutions, like Copernicus, Darwin, Einstein.
They all changed how we saw the world.
And AGI could do the same thing.
On a much bigger scale, even.
Maybe.
But we got to be curious, not scared.
Okay.
Like when we invented the telescope, it opened up the universe.
That's true.
AGI might do the same thing for reality itself.
Showing us things we never knew were there.
Exactly.
That makes me think about humans and AI working together to find new knowledge.
That's a great point.
Like a team.
Yeah.
Not humans versus AI, but humans and AI together. Yeah. Exactly. Imagine scientists, artists, engineers all working with AI.
To solve those big problems we're facing.
Climate change, disease, poverty, all of it.
A better future for everybody.
That's the goal. A world that's more fair, more sustainable, more prosperous for everyone.
I love that idea.
And it shows why it's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about the ethics, the rules, the way we use it.
We need to make sure AGI benefits everyone.
Everyone, not just a few.
That means access, fairness, transparency.
Making sure it's used responsibly.
That's a lot to figure out.
It is a big challenge.
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
Okay, so it's up to all of us to make this happen.
It is.
Whether we're the ones making it or just living with it.
We all have a part to play.
In making sure AGI makes the world better.
For us and for the future.
So we were just talking about AGI and how it could change our whole understanding of, knowledge itself.
Yeah, it's a trip, right? AGI giving us answers we don't even understand. Like, it's giving us knowledge, but we need to level up our brains to get it.
It's like that.
Imagine, like, AI figures out some new law of physics or a math equation that explains reality in a way we never thought of.
That's a good one.
How do we even wrap our heads around that?
It's a huge challenge, for sure.
Do you think we need to, like, change what knowledge even means?
Maybe up to now, knowledge has been like a human thing.
Right.
Based on how we see things and think.
Yeah.
But AGI might be showing us a whole new kind of knowledge.
That's a wild thought.
It is.
So it's not just learning new facts.
Yeah.
It's like expanding how we think altogether.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's like we're discovering a new continent with plants and animals we've never seen before.
We need new tools. To study it all.
New ways of thinking.
It's exciting and kind of terrifying at the same time.
Yeah, it is.
So how do we get ready for something like that?
Well, I think we have to be humble. Like admitting we don't know everything. And that we might even be wrong about some things.
That's tough.
It is. But think about the big scientific breakthroughs.
Okay.
Copernicus, Darwin, Einstein.
They all challenged what people thought.
They all changed how we see the world.
Yeah, and AGI could be like that.
On a massive scale.
Yeah, maybe even bigger.
We got to be curious, though. Not afraid.
Right. Approach it with wonder.
Exactly like the telescope.
Okay.
It showed us so much more of the universe.
AGI could do that for, like, everything.
Maybe even reality itself.
That's incredible, and it makes me think about humans and AI working together.
To find new knowledge.
Not against each other.
Right.
But like a team.
Yeah, a real partnership.
Scientists, artists, engineers, all working with AI.
To solve the big problems.
Climate change, poverty, you name it.
A better future for everyone.
That's a future I want to see.
Me too. And it shows why it's not just about the tech itself.
Yeah.
It's about how we use it.
The ethics, the rules.
Making sure it helps everyone.
Not just a few.
Right? Equal access, fairness, transparency.
We have to get this right.
We too.
Wow. This has been a lot to take in.
Yeah, a lot to think about.
From revolutions in every field to, like, the meaning of knowledge itself.
It's been quite the deep dive.
It really has, and I hope it's got our listeners thinking, too.
Me too. What are they most excited about? What worries them?
What role do they see themselves playing in all this?
Keep exploring. Keep asking questions. Keep learning.
That's what it's all about. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.